You got me, Vincent. I'm pro-comedy. I'm radically pro-comedy. You got me, Vincent. Hands up. Wait, what was wrong there? Wait, you have to tell me what was wrong about what I just said. What was wrong there?
What if
can you explain this? Like, he's just saying stuff right now. He's struggling to follow the conversation as much as Willie is? Where was the problem? What was the problem there? I don't understand. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Look around. Look around. Just pay attention to what people are doing, and you will figure out what's happening very quickly, okay? Guys, so Vincent Martin is I think like a Tommy C fan, or like, a long-time commentary sort of, like Discord guy. I've argued with him a couple times. I think he's come on the stream once. I went on his stream the other day when I found out he was making a hit piece on me. I spoke to him briefly. We had a little argument. It went better than you'd expect, to be honest. We left on okay terms. Okay, he's a morale hater. Yeah, he did a hit piece on morale, talking about how morale's abusive. So we're going to take a look at Vincent Martin's new 25-minute hit piece on me, saying, is Kuihman a grifter or... And that's the title. So let's take a look. Let's have a look.
In case you didn't know, is someone in commentary? Or is it Twitch poll? I'm not sure on that one. Let's try that again. Kuihman is a YouTuber, I guess. He does the stream, react, other stuff, and someone, maybe himself, cuts it out as VODs. Don't know. Now let's first address the grifter claim that is in the title. Kuihman would probably try to argue against that, but that's just because he tends to argue on instinct, like when people make claims that he's a lolly defender.
Intentionally an attempt to sexually draw children.
Yep.
And that's bad. But Kuihman alone dares to ask, why would you care if people thought you were a pedophile? It's no biggie.
That's not what I said. I said pedo defender.
But it seems he managed to completely dodge that bullet with card posting, at least. Truly a brilliant example of how he turned it around on someone instead of actually, talking about his weird stance on lolly. That led to this discussion between...
I was open to talking about it. Card didn't want to actually debate... Okay, look. I was fine to talk about the criticisms Card had, but he didn't want to argue about it when we were on the phone. Like, if Vincent has criticisms, I'm open to them from Vincent. Like, I'll argue this stuff. If you've got problems with stuff I've said, that's fine.
The two. But back to the grifter claim, that much is obvious whenever he
Card was merciful. He didn't card lumber me. Exactly.
On the internet. It's all about money.
Irrelevant, anything like that? There was one slip up in the video that I definitely noticed. But I won't say it on stream just for everyone's sake, but there is definitely one slip up. I don't have anything else. If you've got evidence or something, sure, I'd love to see it.
Okay, so you can identify one thing that I did wrong 2 years ago, and I think you would agree, reading the STV Philly logs, I made a completely good faith effort to try and resolve it, and there are people who are lying and me, okay? Why is it that you were so focused on me?
Because that's the interesting drama.
Okay, so you're just drama farming.
That's what I stream about drama, bro.
Or maybe content. I'm not sure. It's totally not about the normalization of lolly or whatever crap he talked about with card posting here.
It felt like you were sort of pulling your punches.
I did skim through the video before I started my stream.
Well, yeah, it still seemed like you were like...
I'm being real with you. I was throwing off because I watched your videos and I was like, but this doesn't seem like card posting. First of all, it doesn't seem like card posting.
Could you not have... You couldn't have used my version of this call where it's not, like, coming through a phone? Okay.
I like this guy. I'm sort of upset this guy's saying, like, he thinks I might be a pedophile.
My mistake.
Wait. No, he's saying, okay, no, Vincent, you're just wrong there, Vincent. Sorry. I have to... Why is a guy like calling me a pedophile? Because he didn't. No, I said this. Here's what I say in that clip that he's just showing. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I say, this guy I like thinks I might be a pedophile. The thumbnail he used had my avatar with the word nonce, question mark, and an arrow pointing to my avatar. I feel like that is perfectly good evidence to say he thinks I might be a pedophile. That's being communicated pretty clearly. Yeah, it's still up, yes. That is being communicated pretty clearly.
So upset this guy's saying, like, he thinks I might be a pedophile.
My mistake. He doesn't do that with card posting. Kuihman slips that argument into his response to the card posting video. Just real quickly, it seems. Which I'm guessing card posting watched at some point, but it's really strange how it wasn't brought up at all within that discussion between the two. Well, not really.
You're about to see Kuihman reacting to Xanderhall here. And say what you want about Xanderhall, that he's a big lid, bad with money, dumb, stoner, filming in a church basement, maybe wants to kill his editors.
Wait, so what's he saying about this clip?
But just real quickly, it seems.
I was like saying...
Into his response to the card posting video. Just real quickly, it seems. Which I'm guessing card posting watched at some point, but it's really strange how it wasn't brought up at all within that discussion between the two. Well, not really.
You're about to see Kuihman reacting to Xanderhall here. And say what you want about Xanderhall, that he's a big lid, bad with money, dumb, stoner, filming in a church basement, maybe wants to kill his editors, looks like he has AIDS. Yeah, we've heard it all. But he's actually going to make a very cogent point here about how the Nuxtaku lolly fixation was being played off as a joke right up until it wasn't, and that someone calling him out should have come a lot sooner. Kuihman here has now inexplicably turned his face cam on to give his hot take that jokingly being a pedophile is actually just like a harmless goof among pals and really funny.
Maybe in 2014. Sometimes joking about being a pedophile is funny. Yep. I will say that with Kevin. Not tonight. I wasn't on cam tonight. But I have and would say that with Kevin. Sometimes joking about being a pedophile is funny. Pretty much everyone's. I think even, fucking Chud has made like pedophile jokes. It is funny. It can be funny. Is it always funny?
Okay, and?
No. Obviously, it's not always funny. Sometimes it blurs a line. If it's too normalized in certain communities, it can make it difficult to notice red flags for actual negative behaviors. Totally agree with all those points. However, yeah, fundamentally, there are plenty of jokes about being a pedophile that are funny.
But it's completely fine with people calling anyone pedos as a joke when there's absolutely no evidence to back it up.
Yes, I am pro-comedy. You got me, Vincent. I'm pro-comedy. I'm radically pro-comedy. You got me, Vincent. Hands up.
It's like a joke that he's making in Discord to fuck with someone. It's like a joke in Discord to fuck with someone. I couldn't tell you how many people I've called rapists and pedophiles in Discord chats. It's countless. I have no evidence for any of it, obviously. You'd have to be retarded to believe it.
I don't think ZV ever raped his sister. He's probably an only child. I don't give a shit. I just thought the claim that was made by a fucking autistic schizo no Miss Yalf was really funny.
Okay, well then,
like, it's just like so obvious it's not serious. Like you can literally watch the hit piece. Literally watch the hit piece. It's so obvious he's not being serious.
It's almost as if ridicule is man's most potent weapon. There's no defense. It's almost impossible to counterattack ridicule. Also, infuriates the opposition.
No, that's true. No, he's spitting. Yes, comedy is a powerful weapon. Yes, that's facts.
Reacts to your advantage, at least ideally. So why is
Thank you, Pepsi,
to use it against Nux? Well, probably not because he's seems to be a Mr. Girl fan, infamous for his review of Cuties and his Eminem parody song, I'm a pedophile. Also, it can't be Kuihman.
Wait, did he just quote the song?
Such behaviors to encourage those in his circle to keep on doing this. Still, it looks sort of bad when you hide certain streams like this. Damn it, this really...
Wait, hide certain streams? I don't hide streams. I private things after like 3 months or something because I don't want old stuff to get reported.
Really doesn't help the claim that Kuihman's a grifter.
It's unlisted the moment it goes offline, right? It's in the VODs playlist, unlisted.
Hey, look at this sudden change in attitude from Kuihman here.
Yeah, he's a I just want a game centrist.
Again, I've openly talked on multiple platforms. I don't like Endymion, so I'm going to say right here now, full support of at least these statements. Like this isn't Endymion dub, 100%. Whether I disagree or agree with Endymion or not doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, I don't think Endymion is irrelevant. In fact, I think that Endymion is the opposite. And I think that he leans too hard into not accepting relativism.
What this is projection then from yours.
Yeah, exactly, correct.
As soon as a game gets popular, you guys are too afraid.
These guys might have 100 IQ collectively.
About the wokeness because you're not conservative. You still, George. You still have not.
I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes. That's not.
But what is he's also building conservatism up as if conservatism is a bastion of purity. Well, guess what? Look, I don't want to upset anybody in the audience, whatnot, but I'll say it. I won't speak for Smash. It's just me. I'm not conservative. I'm also not liberal. I'm an anarchist. But I do remember.
Wait, he's an anarchist? What?
Because I'm old enough to remember when it was around during those times. I remember 9/11. I remember the Bush regime. I remember the illegal wars under conservatism. I remember the weapons of mass destruction hoax and Dick Cheney running the government. Let's not pretend that conservatism is inherently moral or correct. There's corrupt no matter what side of the aisle you go to. And touting on about conservatism as if it's the objectively correct way is absolutely bananas.
No, this guy's awesome, actually. No, I'm on this guy's team.
Okay, time to drop this grifter bit. I'm like 90% sure Leon is a small-time grifter, and Kuihman saying he's awesome and how he's on this guy's team is more funny than proof of anything. In the end of the day, proving someone is a grifter is pointless. I mean, it would make some sense of some of the stupidity that Kuihman does, but let's get more into the hidden title of this video, hiding his true power level as Ultra Instinct Spurg.
That doesn't mean that the fucking money for the Hassan video is now in some sort of a contract to the media company that was never involved in any of this shit. It just means I'm going to keep doing. It just means I'm going to keep doing work for you. Which, by the way, confirms. Shut the fuck up, Kuihman. That confirms the work for January was done with satisfaction.
This is a classic. This is a classic, bro. This Duma Spurg out, this was classic, bro.
That doesn't mean that the fucking money for the Hassan video is now in some sort of a contract to the media company that was never involved in any of this shit. It just means I'm going to keep doing. It just means I'm going to keep doing work for you, which, by the way, confirms. Shut the fuck up, Kuihman. That confirms the work for January was done with satisfaction.
I don't know legally, but ethically, to me, that does mean you're on the hook to the company. If you've attributed that to the company, that does mean.
I don't give a fuck about your morals. You are a piece of shit.
It reminded me of an argument Dark Viper AU made against Judd Law.
A lot, but it includes the entire video.
Of course, I don't really care that it's illegal. I care more that it is grossly immoral, for reasons I have also explained today.
Oh, you distinguish between legal and moral arguments? Well, you know who else distinguishes between legal and moral arguments? That's right. Dark Viper.
Death.
Now, would people take the legal aspect out of the equation and make it just about the morals or ethics? Seriously, what morals or ethics are they using? I had a small section of
my morals and ethics. The ones that I make clear, the ones that I say, also making an argument as to why I think what Duma did was wrong under the morals that I have. I'm asking Duma to provide the counter argument from his perspective as to why the argument for why what I said is not true. Right? I thought that's pretty clear. No? Is that wild?
Of my previous script where I was guessing at what Kuihman's ethical system might have been. My top 3 guesses for what Kuihman's possible ethical system would be ethical nihilism, hedonism, and or egotism. They fit with the grifter bit that I was originally going with, but after some feedback, I decided to be more direct. And I'm leaving the title as is. He could still be a grifter of some type, maybe a political kind. Is a grifter still a grifter, even if they suck at it? Not that I care to prove he's one, but I noticed with a lot of those who get called grifters, they at least have 1 or 2 people around them to white knight for them who aren't exactly on their team, or at least will pretend they're not. Now, I know most people know Kuihman is a political person, but, you know, with his commentary hat on, somehow this pass for legit criticism and commentary nowadays.
No, this is the pattern of behavior. So, Willie said, instead of apologizing, saying, Hassan didn't apologize, and Hassan saying, well, no, I did apologize. You're saying I didn't apologize?
You said you post, dude. This is exactly my criticism.
Because, like, let's say this goes a different way. Imagine a parallel universe where Hassan just didn't immediately clock that Willie... Imagine a parallel universe... Can you... Yeah, that's what a hypothetical is. That's what a hypothetical is, Vincent. It's like another universe. Like, as if things were different. Imagine a world where things were different. He doesn't believe in conditionals. He said he didn't apologize, or Hassan didn't remember quite the timeline whether he apologized or something. This whole debate goes through with Willie saying Hassan didn't apologize, and then that's just accepted. So the idea that we just, Hassan's got to do the research and make sure that Willie's criticisms are true, this is like retarded. No, Willie is just he's like embellished his criticism here to try and get an own on Hassan in this debate. I know he's not taking the L when he's realized it's completely wrong.
I mean, just because this is Kuihman being more against Willie Mack
what was that problem?
Rather than
wait, what was wrong there? Wait, you have to tell me what was wrong about what I just said. What was wrong there?
Oh, Hassan. Maybe he wants...
I don't get it.
Oh, you're arguing for Hassan. No, I'm arguing against Willie Mack's stupidity, which is stupid on its own. And I'm sure you'll get this. That's just a stream. Nothing he turned into a VOD. Yeah, it gives him the ability to put this stream in the unlisted sort of section he has on his channel.
Yep, dude. Yes, I unlist my streams so they don't like get flooded into the fucking recommendations algorithm. I want people to be driven towards my content, my video segments, because those are edited to make sure they get ad revenue and have individualized thumbnails and metadata to help them travel, and the live streams do not. So the live streams go unlisted into a playlist.
Love this guy.
The videos can get pushed.
He's making a lot of great points.
You get
Credit
this?
to him for wading through hundreds of hours of dead air to capture these clips of you talking.
Thank you for the $5, Jimbly. Huge appreciated. Thank you, Jimbly.
And possibly it might even disappear one day. But it definitely emphasizes the fact that if you control the framing of the debate, you can control the narrative. That is, if people listening to you buy into this crap. I have to wonder
that's
if
true. That's true. If the more control you have over the framing of a debate, the more likely you are to win it, for sure. I mean, I feel like it's obvious, though. If you completely accept someone's like frame with no interrogation, yeah, you're likely to get led into like traps. You have to be careful about like how someone's framing an argument if you're contesting it. I mean, okay.
That's what the 12 rules for radicals meant by saying the price of a successful attack is a constructed alternative. Hell, there's
Wait, let's read that. Oh, I haven't actually read rules for radicals. Price for a successful counterattack is a constructive alternative. Never let the enemy score points because you're caught without a solution to the problem. Okay. I mean, that doesn't sound bad.
Of a successful attack is a constructed alternative. Hell, there's many other of these rules that could apply to what Kuihman does. I already mentioned Rule 5 earlier. Ridicule.
Yeah, bro, I literally said earlier, Jimbly, I'm only like loosely aware of rules for radicals because of the Timber on Toast hit piece on James O'Keefe, Project Veritas. That's like the only exposure I have to it, basically. I think Sargon spoke about it at some point as well.
Man's most potent weapon. Did anyone pick up on that? Now, a good tactic is one that your people enjoy, is one I'm sure many streamers looking to make their chat happy and get new followers could fall into without even knowing the rules themselves. Rule 3, I'm not sure. Whenever possible, go outside the expertise of the enemy. Yeah, this is something I've seen from Kuihman a couple of times at the very least. And the way he sort of reviews this stuff makes me question if any of his views on anything.
I mean, like, listen, you could say that like these apply to me. I'm not consciously using them, but like, I mean, you'd have to kind of tell me what's wrong with them. Like, none of these seem like that bad. No, am I crazy? It's like, yeah, these are good like strategies. Everyone is using like gay fucking tactics to win. These are like pretty like straightforward and honest strategies, to be honest. Like providing a constructive alternative. What's wrong with that? That's good, in my opinion. To me, personally. Yeah, you should provide a constructive alternative, ideally. Yes, ridicule is a good weapon.
Any what? Based in reality. Like, what are you responding to here? You're doing your best to discredit him in this gay little fashion here.
Is this what you're going to talk?
And it makes total sense for anyone crying that Hassan didn't watch this video. It makes total sense to not want to watch this video. It is the exact same talking points that have been made by other people against Hassan.
Why? What is even going through your head, Kuihman? Cares if you wouldn't watch a Willie Mac video? Is this what your audience...
Wait. No, you don't understand what the point is. Has he just gone through and like skimmed videos? The whole point in that debate was that Hassan, Willie Mac was demanding that Hassan watch his video. He was saying, you haven't watched my video? You haven't watched my video? That was the context there. It's not just me saying, I'm not just saying, oh, well, I wouldn't watch a Willie Mac video. It's, the point I'm making is, of course Hassan didn't watch Willie Mac's video. It's got all the same points that other people have made. He's heard them all before. Why would you go and watch more regurgitation? He probably remembers all these dramas and what he was thinking. So why would you not just ask Willie to criticize and then have the back and forth about the criticism? He should have watched his video if he's going to debate him on the video. He wasn't going to debate him on the video. Willie Mac just wanted to debate the video. Hassan brought Willie Mac on to debate. And then Willie Mac was like, well, have you even watched my video? Have you even watched my video? He didn't need to watch the video to debate Willie Mac. Hassan didn't rape himself. Hassan only raped himself to the same retards that are just looking for a reason to hate Hassan in that debate. Willie Mac looked fucking stupid. Go back and watch it. Again, I think I did coverage of it. That's where Vincent's getting this from. I did recent coverage of it. I went back and looked at it. Willie Mac got raped. Willie Mac looked retarded to anyone's paying attention. He can't... He is like... It shows his method in that debate. He can't relay his own criticisms from his own video in a debate, in a live conversation well, because he hasn't put the effort in to understand the criticisms he's making. He doesn't understand the criticisms he's making, and he hasn't actually attempted to, you know, gain knowledge about the topic. So he can't have a live back and forth about it. This is a thing people do, by the way. This is a total... You'll see this live from a lot of people. It was not a video from a year ago. It was... I don't believe it was a video from a year ago at all. It was a recent video at the time. So... what was I about to say? What was I about to move on to? I was about to say something. I was about to say... Where was I going? Where was I going? A lot of people do this. Fuck. Yes. Okay, I remember. Sorry, yeah. A lot of people cope like this. They'll say, just bad on a... it's not dementia, dude. I got fucking distracted by a chat message. I fucking lost my train of thought. Okay, but I've got it back. It's okay. My brain is still functioning. A lot of people do this cope where they'll say they're just not good in a live conversation. Oh, I just can't debate. I just can't debate. Unless you've got like a serious speech impediment or like a cognitive processing disorder. Listen, you just saw what I did just then, and I'm perfectly fine having live conversations with people. Okay, unless you're like actually retarded in some way, you should be able to have a live conversation and not completely fuck it up, providing that you understand the topic you're discussing, right? Yeah, or sleep issues. Like, Vadim is like, I would count Vadim as literally retarded, right? So I'm saying, unless you're literally retarded, you should be fine in a live conversation. You know, you should be capable of learning a topic and talking about it at length. Especially in context where someone's providing disagreement. Because that's when your understanding is tested. Is when you can explain the concept in different ways, from different angles, when someone is attempting to criticize it. That shows that you actually understand the topic. And if you can't do that, that's probably a sign you don't actually understand the topic, and you stop coping, saying, oh, I just don't want to debate it, I just don't want to debate it. It's fucking bullshit. Come on. It's fucking bullshit. Let's be real.
This gay little fashion here.
Is this what you're gonna talk?
And it makes total sense for anyone crying that Hassan didn't watch this video. It makes total sense to not want to watch this video. It is the exact same talking points that have been made by other people against Hassan.
Why? What is even going through your head, Kuihman? Cares if you wouldn't watch a Willie Mac video? Is this what your audience watches you for?
Yeah, I just explained the context.
Like a total ass clown to go against Willie Mac, contrarian, straight out of the box? Or has this been what you've been reduced to? Or it could be Rule 8. Keep the pressure on and never let up, no matter how stupid it comes across. Or maybe it's Rule 10. If you
That's not what Rule 8 says, is it? Keep the pressure on, never let up. Keep trying new things to keep the opposition off balance. As the opposition masters one approach, hit them from the flank with something new. Attack, attack, attack from all sides, never giving the reeling organization a chance to rest, regroup, recover, and re-strategize. That's not what's being said. It's not just say bullshit. It's use a diversity of tactics, vary your tactics to keep someone off balance, right? And again, like, I don't even see, like, unless you're literally inventing lines of attack that you don't believe to, like, attack someone with, I don't see this as a problem either. Again, he's, like, ascribing this to me. It's like, fine, you can ascribe that to me. I don't do that intentionally. It's not, like, a conscious thing. Ascribe it to me. But what's the problem? You know? It's not being shown that this is, like, an issue in any way.
Up, no matter how stupid it comes across. Or maybe it's Rule 10. If you push the negative hard enough, he'll push through and become positive. Him always being on the attack.
I think he's accusing you of being a shrewd strategist. Yeah, I like to think of myself.
Means he rarely has to go on defense and does rather poorly, so he finds ways around that. So it could be that instead of him using any of these rules, but if there's something like a gay op where Kuihman has some involvement in it, gets criticism, he gets a slap on the wrist, and the world keeps moving on despite all his failures. Why is that? Probably
okay, well, what's the problem? What did I do wrong? Well, okay. Example? Where's the slap on the wrist? What did I do to get a slap on the wrist? What's a gay op? Yeah.
Make the enemy live up to its own book of rules. They
That is a
tried
good
doing
strategy.
that to Destiny. Same with Mudahar, or however you say one ordinary gamer's real name. And of course, they tried to do
Mudahar.
that with other commentary channels, but that didn't even really work. Mainly because they seem to have misjudged what the rule book for those individuals on those commentary channels are. Or did they? What if
Okay, well, can you explain this? Like, he's just saying stuff right now. None of it's like, I need examples. I need to be able to tie this back to what actually happened. Like, when did I do that? When did that happen? And what's an example of that happening?
Are the ones who wrote the rule book on how commentary works. Now, there's just one problem with this. The rules that they're trying to get people to accept as how things operate in the commentary community is one that already existed before. It's called spurred content. So how did this change occur? That's a serious question. I don't expect a serious response from anyone.
Oh. The US just struck Iran.
I have
Cool.
my theories, but this isn't the place for that. The point is that the people who had supposedly their own rule book used against them, Destiny and Mudahar, seems to have walked away, ended up mostly fine at this point in time. Let's see how that lawsuit goes. Don't care if he gets sued into oblivion, but I won't whine if he wins either. And as for the commentary channels, they tried to rope Nick into their plans to nail Destiny. Nick's shown in the past he's willing to talk to people who might try to fuck him over, because that's what he's done in the past. From experience, John Swan and a couple of others. President Sunday underestimated him.
Wait, you mean... Wait, no, it's not he talked to people that might fuck him over. You just gave an example when he leaked the call. That's him. I understand it was for the greater good, but in technicality, that would be him fucking someone over. But okay.
And he lost because Nick recorded that conversation and released what Sunday left out of his video. Then comes along...
But, okay, I don't... Did the context even change that much? Did what Nick released even change that much? And didn't Sunday drop both full calls in the end?
Willie Mack with his first Destiny video that includes Beckett and President Sunday in the supporting roles because...
Oh, or did he cut out... He might have cut out the part where he said the psychopath stuff or something, right? I think. Didn't that happen?
He really believes that they screwed up a lot of the discourse around here. That's an opinion. Seems to have some merit to me, but different people will have different opinions.
Yeah.
It was really during the huge debate panel where it happens. Kuihman gets Willie Mack to come in to interrogate his position on some of this crap here.
And say, hey, did you extort this person? And then you have DMs that lead you to the conclusion that they extorted.
You should, which is,
let me lay this out. Let me lay this out for you 1 second.
So, lay it out.
You believe someone is extorting someone else. Person A is extorting person B. And you have DMs to evidence this have led you to this conclusion. You reach out to person A and you say, hey, are you extorting person B? And they say, oh, no, I'm not extorting person B. That's not my intention at all. But you don't provide any more evidence.
Dude, the evidence Sunday had was a single tweet that said she was taking the LSAT.
I'm not making a statement on what the evidence Sunday had was. I'm simply
this is the conversation.
I'm interrogating your standing because you're taking positions. I'm interrogating what the position actually is.
If you want to know what underpins Willie's Max worldview, why don't you just ask him directly? Frankly, I don't think he would even tell you. Definitely seems like he's...
Wait, what was the problem there?
It from
he's struggling to follow the conversation as much as Willie is? Where was the problem? What was the problem there? I don't understand.
Utilitarian perspective.
Oh my God.
What is the optimum way we can be completely honest, why respecting everyone's opinion, why having the best outcome? Could be wrong on that. I'm not a mind reader. I can only say it sort of parallels my own value system. And that seems to be true based on the evidence that President Sunday sort of revealed he had. And Kuihman admits he's not interested in the subject matter
was that not what I was doing?
hand, but the ideas behind it. Underlying motives.
No, I'm trying to get to... Okay, look, it's sort of like a back and forth game where I'm trying to get to the standard so that I can see if the standard actually applies or whether he's just saying it because it's Sunday, right? Or just saying it because he's been given some other narrative, right? I'm trying to get to the standard so that I can see if the standard fits the way he's acting. And I'm using hypotheticals to try and cut off the edges and get down to the core standard. That most people don't have it thought out in their head and not go able to draw you a clear stance. It's better to try and get them into it with hypotheticals, right? Let's say you find out where someone actually is on something usually. By going, okay, if this was the case, would you be okay with that? Okay, so that seems like, all right, so change this variable. Now, would you be okay with that? That's like a very good way of picking through someone's beliefs.
Just ask strictly about instead of hint at. Probably because Kuihman can't argue against the actual evidence here.
That's the same thing. Willie, it's all connected.
The attempt to extort can be true.
You just keep talking. Is this the fucking...
No, I'm literally just totally correct here, and Willie's filibustering. So Willie keeps basically saying that Sunday didn't have proof of extortion because his only evidence was a Pixie tweet about going to law school. That's not true. because that would be the only evidence that the extortion worked. There was actually messages that he was using to claim that the extortion was attempted. So there's a separation, right, between the claim someone attempted to extort someone and someone successfully extorted someone. These are two different claims, and you could... Sunday's evidence for one of them is weaker than the claim for the other one. Weaker than the evidence for the other one.
You listening to what I'm saying?
You aren't engaging in anything.
I am engaging. The attempt to extort can be true, but the paid off part could be false. So, like,
yeah, like literally what I'm saying. So the attempt to extort could have happened, but the being paid off, actually benefiting from that extortion, could not have, and that could be true, because you know, time moves in a linear and constant fashion. An attempt takes place first, and then there is a payoff. It cannot be that the payoff comes first. So there will be situations where an attempt is made, but there is not a payoff, right? I think we can all agree on that, right?
Like, I'm going one claim at a time. So attempt to extort off the table. Now we're talking about the paid off part. So I agree with you.
Where's the attempt to extort?
Well, that's what Sunday's believing. That's part of the narrative. That's part of the slandering that's being accused, right? Is that Sunday believed the Pixie was attempting to extort?
Yeah, the attempt to extort is him saying,
David the Ray Dickens,
DMs, I believe it is extortion because I talked to a lawyer, which he completely lied about. That is not true. He did not talk to any lawyer.
Again,
okay?
I don't think it matters
whether.
Dude, it's so crazy. People are so retarded. They assert positive claims just for no fucking reason.
Or not. Some
unnamed it entirely matters because if you're accusing someone of extortion, you should probably know what the fuck you're talking about and getting a professional opinion.
Kuihman doesn't seem to care much about speculating behind the ideas behind Sunday's reasoning for making the video. He basically just goes along with Sunday's narrative as if it's true.
No, I didn't. I said I don't know if it's legal extortion. I can understand why Sunday's getting that idea. I don't think morally it's really extortion. I don't know if it'd qualify legally, but I don't know enough about the law to draw a solid conclusion. So I didn't like that there were so many people saying it's definitely not extortion, or there was no reason to believe it's extortion, because I can't say that. I don't think that's true. I don't think it's definitely not extortion from what I can see. I don't think there was no reason to believe that. So I'm saying I don't think that's true. I don't think the positive claim. So there's like neutral claims and there's like positive claims, right? There's like a positive claim where you're like affirming something. Neutral claim is like you're ambivalent. If you say they lied about that, that's like a positive claim. If I say I don't know, that's neutral, right? But you have to, if you're going to say lied, you're saying a specific thing happened. And so you then have to show the evidence for that. Right? You can't just say, I don't see substantiation, so it must be a lie. Because the lie is an actual specific, no. A negative claim is like, that didn't happen. Right? I believe. But a positive claim is like, they lied. If you say someone lied, in that case, you are making a positive claim. Something happened. Right? So you have to provide evidence for that.
True. Despite Sunday telling a lie, probably a couple of ones, but one about the lawyer, I think, is the most clear-cut there. But that context, or should I say, element of the story, doesn't matter to Kuihman.
Pixie killing herself.
Yeah, because it's unverifiable. There's no way for me to know whether Sunday spoke to a lawyer or not. I can't verify that.
He goes, I don't want Pixie to kill herself. I can't do that. That would be psychotic. I would be a psycho if I came out with this video.
Yes.
And then he goes, well, she's extorting Destiny, so now it's game, and I'm totally okay to come out with this video. So it's the entire justification. So yes, it does matter.
Wait, what are you saying matters now? Whether the extortion claim is true, I agree with you. That part matters. I don't think it matters whether he actually spoke to a lawyer or not, because the comment from a lawyer doesn't matter. That's all I was saying.
Sunday lying about why he thinks it's extortion matters, because it's the whole reason he came out with the video.
You can never prove it. You can never prove whether he's lying about that. So why would you not just focus on contesting the actual points? Unless you can't contest the actual points, and your only way of stopping this is by accusing him of lying, right? Contest the argument. Why are you attacking this ancillary like anecdote? It's stupid. It's because Willie's too dumb to contest the actual point. That's what's happening, very clearly. He's a fucking idiot. He's demonstrated that a million times now. That he's a complete worthless, dishonest fucking idiot.
No.
But he has a line of logic for why he thinks it's extortion that doesn't rely on...
His line of logic is him lying,
exactly.
bro.
So,
you realize that, right?
No, the line of...
Seriously, if Sunday lied about speaking to a lawyer, what makes you think he won't be willing to lie about other things?
Trying to be nice.
Well, that's the thing, is you can't prove that he lied about speaking to the lawyer, so why don't you contest the argument that the lawyer is supposedly backing up? Why don't you fight that instead? Unless you can't fight that.
But once Bad Empanada starts talking about it, once Hassan starts saying Low in the Box got cucked and all this stuff, well, it's kind of an untenable position at that point. Like, and that's before
untenable.
To keep moderating Pixie's name and pretending nothing's happening. Because everyone's talking about it. It's like a huge story.
Yeah, it's so true. Like... If someone's lied once, you can assume everything they say is a lie. Most people never lie. Most people never lie, okay? So if someone lies once, that is such a disgusting, out of normal human behavior act. You can never trust a single thing they say again, okay? Not just the story is being ran, but there's actual misinformation about the story being ran by huge YouTubers. You're just supposed to sit there, cover it, and bite your tongue.
All these guys did was spread more misinformation. That's all Beckett and Sunday did.
Oh, I agree. The speculation. Beckett, okay, well, Beckett's going to contest that. I agree. Sunday's video, absolutely, like, it's not good. Like, I mean, it's not a good video on Destiny.
Okay, then why are you sweeping for it? I don't get it.
I'm not sweeping for it. I'm just like contesting your point. I think there's a lot of levels of engagement.
Dude, these pussy fucking losers. I wish I went back and looked at this. Scumfuck, Tommy C, sack of shit, worthless fucking loser old man, degenerate alcoholic fucking loser, degenerate piece of shit fucking Tommy C, loser fucking waste of space that wastes his family's fucking time, okay? This piece of fucking shit said, I ambushed Willie with sweeping allegations. Yet here's this dipshit. I'm making perfectly reasonable criticisms of the arguments he's making against Sunday, and he is jumping to accuse me of sweeping when he can't contest my argument. Fucking idiot, Tommy C, and your scumfuck friend Willie Mack too. Seriously, two of the most disgusting people on the platform. Disgusting old fuck. Oh man. Thank you, Vincent, for bringing this up. Holy shit. It's happening with...
Kuihman definitely seems like he's trying to sweep for President Sunday here. Not very well. It's definitely trying to find a critical theory problem with Willie Mack's video or process or underlying.
There were obvious problems. There were obvious problems.
Which it is. It definitely seems to be along the lines of keep the pressure on, never let up. Still, it makes me think about Rule 7, a tactic that drags on too long becomes a drag. But in relations to Rule 12, when you pick the target, personalize it, and polarize it, how do you change up tactics doing that to make sure they don't drag on too long? Maybe by doing what Kuihman did with the video, Nicholas Diorio's brutal debate with best friend. Have to hype up those cap letters. It really should have been titled, Nick Diorio is sweeping for Willie to his best friend. That was capitalized there. And I think the beginning of Kuihman's own video, the best way to highlight the insanity of this.
I will tell you what's happened. I don't have evidence of this. I am clairvoyantly tapping into the schizosphere, and I'm telling you exactly what happened. Here's how Willie made his video.
I think you're just setting a really bad precedent if you're saying like a video essay.
I did say that. I did say that. You're right. And I'm right too. You know what I said after that clip? I said Willie Mack spoke to people close to Destiny for information for his video. Specifically, I think, not so erudite. 100%. I will repeat that claim 1,000,000 fucking times because I believe it 10 toes down, 100%. That's why this fucking Kilo idiot was on Twitter tweeting out, oh, guys, I think I might be a mark-ass bitch like 2 weeks later, okay? Listen. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Look around. Just pay attention to what people are doing and you will figure out what's happening very quickly, okay?
Post by a certain date. Otherwise,
what? No one's saying that.
Their video has to be even deeper than like.
This is a bad communication of the content, And if you haven't seen everything else,
Keeler's saying fuck off, man, in chat. Notice, he's not saying, Kuihman, stop lying. Stop telling falsehoods, Kuihman. You're lying. You're lying. I never tweeted that, and that's not what that was about. He didn't say that. He said, fuck you, man. With an incomplete, at best, I'll say, impression of what happened. No one's saying he shouldn't include the President Sunday section. Who is saying there should be nothing about President Sunday in there?
I mean, on one hand, he's trying to make it out like he's completely insane schizo Berg out of his mind.
Yeah, I'm caveating.
On the other, he's trying to set himself up as an expert on this by trying to say he's done the most research. It has so many points to try to prove this. This reminds me what Kuihman did with Willie is textbook gish galloping. I'll give you a second if you need to pause and look at the screen for the definition, which is up now. What I highlighted earlier.
Wait, he didn't put the gish galloping definition up. He said he was going to put the gish galloping definition up, but he didn't. How am I supposed to know what gish galloping means, Vincent? No!
To try to prove this. This reminds me what Kuihman did with Willie is textbook gish galloping. I'll give you a second if you need to pause and look at the screen for the definition, which is up now. What I highlighted earlier with Willie Mack is an example of someone countering this tactic. He focuses on the falsehoods told by President Sunday that Kuihman definitely seemed like he was trying to sweep for. But maybe he wasn't. There's a lot more I can say on this, and I have a stream set up to follow up in case I need to, but it's not
I thought it was going to be
the first time.
It was obvious that was not gish galloping in any of those clips that he just showed. I thought he was going to show another clip of me where I do gish gallop. That was not gish. There was no examples of gish galloping in any of the clips he just showed.
Kuihman has done this in relations to sweeping. I'm putting quotation marks around that because it's a very indirect method, but still running cover for the stupidity of President Sunday, especially when it's somewhat related to Willie Mack in a strange way. Hell, I went over that whole thing on stream a while ago, and I still have no clue how Kuihman can think his title fits. You trying to get the evidence seems to be on Doomer's side here. And Kuihman's even agreed, trying to get into some sort of loop to, I guess, expose a little bit more. I don't fucking know. Doomer Media breaks in final confrontation. I've heard of clickbait, but that is way more misleading than...
Wait. No, Doomer, Doomer got absolutely raped across the coals in that debate. He left the internet because of that shit. Doomer has vanished. Doomer lost his job with Willie Mack and vanished from the internet because of embarrassing himself so badly in that little arc. He just like totally left. What do you mean? Yes, he broke. Yes, he broke. Yes. Doomer Media breaks in final confrontation. Perfect title. Cinema, in fact. Cinema. Highly recommended arc if you want to go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. Actually very funny stuff.
My title here, which at least frames it as a question.
Thank you, Spencer. You never read these. True, I don't read those because the membership celebrations don't cost you any money. That's true, so I don't usually bother. Thank you, though, for the membership, Spencer Howard.
Relevant because even if true, frankly, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter if someone's a grifter or not, no matter if their intent isn't pure. When someone's right, they're right.
No, we're looking at a hit piece on me.
Figuring out people's intent is stupid. And with that, I'm done. At least until my follow-up stream to this video where I'll probably go into more details where I need to.
Mic drop. Let's go. Wow. Wow. Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. I did debate this guy the other day.